Have you ever noticed this fascinating difference between men and women? She often craves emotional closeness before sex, while he tends to feel that connection afterwards. It's one of those mysteries that has caused endless confusion in relationships. She feels rejected when he doesn't seem emotionally present before intimacy, and he feels misunderstood when she doesn't realize how connected he feels afterwards. So, why does this happen? Is it biology? Is it psychology? Is it social conditioning? And most importantly, what does it mean for your love life? Stay with me, because once you understand this dynamic, it can completely transform the way you see intimacy. And it might just change the way you experience connection with your partner forever. Before we dive in, if you enjoy exploring the deeper truths about love, intimacy, and human connection, make sure to subscribe to Decode Love. Because here, we go beyond surface-level advice. We decode the real patterns of love. Now, let's break down the puzzle. For many women, intimacy is not just about sex. It's about safety, trust, and emotional connection. Long before physical intimacy begins, she wants to feel close emotionally. That might mean talking, holding hands, cuddling, or simply sharing presence without distractions. To her, this closeness is the foundation that makes sex meaningful. Without it, sex can feel mechanical or even disconnected. For many men, however, the experience is often flipped. The act of sex itself releases a flood of chemicals, oxytocin, dopamine, vasopressin, that create a sense of closeness and bonding. He may not need extended emotional connection beforehand to feel safe. Instead, he feels that closeness as a result of sex. This is where couples often crash into frustration. Imagine her perspective. She longs for deep emotional intimacy before sex, but when he seems distant or only interested in the physical, she feels hurt. She thinks, doesn't he care about me? Doesn't he want to connect with me emotionally? From his perspective, it's entirely different. He's excited to share physical intimacy, and in his world, that is the path to emotional closeness. After sex, he feels open, bonded, and affectionate. If she pulls away after sex because she feels emotionally unfulfilled, he's confused. He thinks, didn't we just connect? Why doesn't she see it? Both are right, but both are missing each other. Let's go deeper. The biology behind it. From an evolutionary standpoint, women's bodies are wired to prioritize safety and trust before reproduction. Sex is biologically high risk for women. It can lead to pregnancy, which historically required protection and support. So women evolved to need a sense of closeness, trust, and care before intimacy. The body wants assurance. Am I safe? Am I valued? Am I emotionally secure? Men's bodies, on the other hand, are wired differently. For many men, sexual arousal is more immediate and less dependent on emotional context. Once sex happens, hormones like oxytocin create bonding, making them feel more emotionally connected after. Neither of these patterns is wrong. They're simply two sides of the same human story. The psychology behind it. Psychologically, women often connect love and sex through emotions. Emotional intimacy makes physical intimacy more powerful. Without it, sex can feel empty. For men, sex itself often functions as the emotional bridge. It's not just physical pleasure, it's the way they show love and feel love. In fact, research shows that many men use sex as their primary language of intimacy. Here's the twist. Because of this difference, women may misinterpret men as only wanting sex, and men may misinterpret women as being too demanding emotionally. In truth, both simply have different doors into intimacy. The social layer culture adds another layer of misunderstanding. Women are often taught that their emotional needs are too much or too needy, while men are taught that expressing emotions outside of sex is weak or unnecessary. These stereotypes reinforce the gap. Think about how often women hear, "Why can't you just relax and enjoy sex?" Or how often men hear, "You're emotionally unavailable." These aren't fair judgments. They're reflections of how little we understand each other's wiring. So, how do couples bridge this difference? How do you connect when your needs seem to run in opposite directions? This is where the magic happens. Understanding the timing of intimacy. If you're a woman, remember that for many men, sex itself is the door to emotional closeness. He's not necessarily avoiding connection, he's just wired to feel it afterwards. If you can see sex as his way of reaching closeness, you might feel less rejected. If you're a man, remember that for many women, emotional intimacy is the doorway to sex. She's not rejecting you by asking for closeness first. She's protecting her heart and body. If you can slow down, connect emotionally before, and not rush, you'll discover that her desire for you grows stronger. Creating rituals of closeness. Couples who thrive often build simple rituals that satisfy both needs. For example, starting the evening with real conversation, a walk, or shared laughter creates the emotional safety she needs. Ending intimacy with extended cuddling or talking satisfies his need for closeness afterwards. This way, neither feels deprived. Communicating openly. The biggest trap is silence. When couples don't talk about this difference, they fill the gaps with assumptions. She assumes he doesn't care emotionally. He assumes she doesn't value his way of connecting. Talking about it, honestly, without blame, can shift the entire dynamic. Now let's explore something even deeper. The feedback loop. When a woman gets emotional intimacy first, her body relaxes, her mind feels safe, and her desire opens. Sex then becomes an expression of that trust. When a man gets physical intimacy, his heart opens, his body floods with bonding hormones, and he naturally wants to show affection. This means that when both partners understand and honor the other's sequence, intimacy becomes a self-reinforcing cycle. She feels loved before, he feels loved after, and together they create a flow where both emotional and physical needs are met. But when the cycle breaks, when she feels neglected before sex, or he feels rejected after, resentment builds. She starts to withdraw emotionally. He starts to withdraw sexually. And slowly, intimacy erodes. Here's where curiosity comes back into play. Ask yourself, in your relationship, do you notice this pattern? Do you often feel like you're out of sync with your partner's intimacy rhythm? Because the truth is, this awareness is the first step to transformation. Once you see the pattern, you can choose to break it. Let's zoom out even more. At the heart of this issue is the universal human need to feel loved and safe. Women often feel loved through emotional presence. Men often feel loved through physical intimacy. But both are reaching for the same thing: security, connection, belonging. Think of it like speaking two different love languages. If you only speak yours, the other person feels unseen. But if you learn to translate, to give love in the way your partner receives it, suddenly the relationship feels effortless. And here's something that might surprise you. Not all men and women fit perfectly into these patterns. Some women feel closeness after sex, and some men crave it before. Personality, attachment style, and past experiences all play a role. But even if the roles are reversed, the lesson is the same. You and your partner might have different intimacy rhythms, and recognizing that difference is the key to harmony. Let's wrap this in practical advice. For women, instead of waiting for him to just know what you need, share openly. I feel so much more connected when we spend time cuddling or talking before give him the roadmap. Most men are eager to please when they understand the rules of the game. For men, instead of assuming she's not interested when she asks for closeness first, see it as the key that unlocks her passion. By meeting her emotional needs, you're not delaying intimacy, you're deepening it. For both, celebrate your differences. Instead of viewing them as obstacles, see them as complementary forces. Her desire for closeness before and his openness after can create a complete circle of intimacy, if you both lean in with compassion. Here's the real takeaway. She isn't wrong for wanting closeness before sex. He isn't wrong for wanting closeness after. They're simply wired differently. And when you stop blaming and start understanding, you unlock the possibility of intimacy that is both emotionally fulfilling and physically passionate. And isn't that what we all want? To feel deeply seen, desired, and safe in love. So the next time you find yourself asking, why does she want to talk and cuddle first? Or, why does he seem affectionate only afterwards? Remember this. You're not on different planets. You're simply entering intimacy through different doors. And if you both learn to knock on each other's door with respect, you'll find yourselves meeting in the same room, where true love and connection live. If this episode opened your eyes, don't let it end here. Subscribe to Decode Love and join this journey of understanding relationships on a deeper level. Because love is not about guessing, it's about decoding. And together, we'll keep unlocking the secrets of intimacy, one episode at a time.